What's going on, you guys? And welcome back to the East Coast Browncast. This is your podcast for everything about basketball. You guys already know what's up. Before we get into this podcast, just want to quickly shout out our podcast network, ECB Podcast Network. We have tons of podcasts coming out. We have one new one. It's an anime one. We have an entertainment pod that just came out. And of course, we have our basketball, our staple podcast. So with that being out of the way, let's get into this podcast. We have a lot to talk about. A lot's been going on through the past 15 games. We're about 15 games into the season now. So with that being said, let's hop into it. You want to take us from here, Shaman?
I got us, man. Man, I don't know how I feel about talking about this one, but let's just have this conversation. What's up with these T-Wolves, man? Like, I thought like they was about to go off, like based off of the big signing they made in the offseason. Like,
Wait, why did you think they were gonna what? Everyone and their mama knew they weren't going to go off. Everyone was questioning that trade. Like, why would they even add Rudy to the team? That made no sense. So I don't know why you thought that.
no, I mean that's why we're here at the conversation. Maybe I was ill-informed. Damn it.
I guess the question is, why do you think Rudy would be a good fit, if anything, for the T-Wolves?
I mean, they have Cat being, somewhat of a somewhat of a stretch four. And I thought they would have had some sort of offensive scheme which would allow them to take advantage, but I guess they don't have a talented enough coaching staff. So I guess I was a bit naive on that.
Do you mind if I take this one right here? So,
Oh, please.
you might be right. It's definitely a unique and interesting, like offensive scheme that could be, brought up with those two big men. But actually, you know what? Before even heading into the season, Chris Finch, who's the coach of the Timberwolves, was favorite to win Coach of the Year. But clearly, that's not working out. And I think even though offensively, it's definitely unique. Defensively, I don't know. So here's the thing. This is what I see, and some of you guys see this too. So when an opposing team will come at the Timberwolves, they'll have Cat running around, and yet because he's like technically a five, it's hard for him to run around the perimeter and contest these shooters. I don't know if you guys see that too, but that's what I'm seeing, and that's why I think the Timberwolves aren't playing that well. I don't know if you guys think they're going to be better or not, but this is just what I see as of now.
Do you think that what do you call it? Like is their offense like what's struggling, or is their defense like keeping up as they would expect them to? Like, because I'm very curious as to know.
I think it's both. Obviously, the thing I just said about Cat having to run from perimeter to perimeter, he's basically doing suicides on defense. But on offense, right? We're watching last season. We had Cat had the ability to stretch the floor. This season, this motherfucker Rudy is just in the paint, man. Is basically just a tall Ben Simmons, and that really clogs it up for Anthony Edwards, who. You know how you said earlier that you thought the Timberwolves were going to make that jump, be a playoff lock. Honestly, I'll be honest. I bet them to be in the playoffs too, but I thought Anthony Edwards would make that leap. But I think that Rudy being that tall Ben Simmons in the paint, that's definitely not helping out with spacing.
Dude,
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to pitch in. I agree with Aray because if you think about it, like you said, I had them. I didn't have them too high. I had them around like 5, maybe 6, 5 to 7 around that range in the seeding wise. And see, I thought Anthony Evans was gonna take that leap, but I thought he was gonna take that leap with his outside game because like Aray said, with Rudy Gobert in the middle because that's if you want Rudy Gobert to be effective, he cannot be he has to be within the 3-point line, basically anywhere within the 3-point line. I'll even go as far as say anywhere within the restricted area for him to be an effective player on the court. And with that, if you notice, Anthony Edwards hasn't been getting last year. How many dunks have we saw Anthony Edwards get? Just a lot, crazy dunks, right? This year,
Yep.
I haven't really seen any dunks from him. I think I've seen 1 or 2, but even I think I've seen 1 or 2. Last year, it was oh, I know I saw 6, 7, 8. That just shows you that's why that's what's wrong with them. They're spacing. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if they constantly have yeah, I mean, where else is he supposed to go, bro?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he has the only other thing is he has to improve his more outside game and I guess driving in, kicking out game, in and out game. But besides that, Yeah, you just can't.
I don't understand why you guys are blaming Rudy Gobert for all this. Like,
No,
he
listen,
didn't
listen.
make the team
'Cause
any
he
worse.
sucks,
He didn't
bro.
make no, he didn't make the team any worse. He didn't make the team any better. It's not on him. You know who it's on? It's on Cat and it's on Edwards. Why are they beefing? Have you seen the highlights?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
I don't get it. No,
Popeyes.
honestly, the reason Minnesota is struggling right now is because both of them are fighting for that alpha spot of the stardom and whatnot. And like they're both acting like bitches on the court. Like there was that one play that I seen where a cat ran down on a fast break. Edwards had the ball. Cat was calling for that pass. Edwards took too long to pass because there was like a defender in between, and Cat ran like straight out of bounds for no reason. Like, you know, stuff like that. There's like team chemistry issues, and that's on the coach, first of all. But on top of that, like, if you both are trying to be leaders, you got to learn how to play with each other. You got to, like, you know, not be so petty on the court. And I completely blame it on them. Rudy is doing great, in my opinion. He's performing defensively. He's getting blocks. He's getting steals. He's still getting rebounds. He's even scoring. Like, it's not like, oh, he's clogging up the paint. He's not scoring. Like, he's dropping what, like 15, 20 points per game, like, or 14 points per game. So, like, Rudy is doing what he's supposed to be doing. It's Cat and Edwards that are just messing everything else up. So don't blame it on Rudy. That's all I wanted to say.
Narf, let me ask you something. When they made that trade, the Timberwolves acquiring, Rudy for all those picks, what did me and you both say?
He said, "Oh, the horrible trade because it made no sense. Like, I don't know how it would help the Minnesota Timberwolves, and like it just like, yeah, it just didn't make sense to me, the trade."
Okay, so let me ask you that. Based off what you just said, do you believe that it's not okay? Let's just say it's not Rudy's fault, but it's actually the GM's fault. Because if it made no sense to us, logical fans, then why did it make sense to them? You know what I mean? I think that they thought that Anthony Edwards was at an all-star, like a superstar level, which he wasn't there yet. And adding Rudy Gobert would be that final touch that would get them to be like a championship team or even a high, deep playoff run team. But yeah, like, what do you think about that? Do you think that's more of the issue, or do you think it's the Cat and Anthony
Well,
Edwards?
we can always blame GMs, we can always blame coaches, but at the end of the day, it's on the players to perform and do what they're supposed to do. So yeah, Anthony Edwards didn't reach that stardom that probably the coaching staff expected them to. But I think the main reason they did the trade was for Cat, because Cat wanted to play that perimeter, and he got what he asked for, but at the end of the day, the Wolves aren't getting wins. So I think they did this for Cat, and Cat being petty is the main issue. Like, he's got to figure out how to work with Edwards, and Edwards also got to like man up and like make this things work. If both of those guys don't want to make it work, nothing the coaches do, nothing the GM does will make this work. But I think the team constructed with like the people on the roster, they're still potentially a good team that can make a playoff run, but it's up to the players to do their job.
Man, I don't want to ask this follow-up question, but do you ever think they're gonna get it together by the end of the season, or like
hell no?
Oh God, oh damn.
I think one thing that we didn't really talk about was and sorry to cut you off, Shaman, but like, we didn't talk about the culture. When Pat Beverly was there, they had that culture. They had the dog in them. You know what I mean? You could tell that they wanted it, bro. They celebrated that play-in series as if it was like like a championship. But I don't see that this year. And
I think Edwards can bring that energy because he definitely has it in him. We all seen the movie. What was it called with Hernan Gomez?
Oh yeah, with the Adam Sandler hustle. Yeah,
hustle. Yeah. So we all seen the kind of energy he has, right? So I think he could definitely he has that leadership skill. He can definitely get the team going. He just has to figure out how to do it without butting heads with Karl Anthony Towns.
Man.
Can I continue?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Now, I partially agree with Narf when he said it's not on Rudy Gobert. Like, when I said like yeah, I agree with him. Like, I was just stating the obvious. Like, Rudy being there hasn't helped Anthony Edwards, and it's not. I would say if it's anybody's fault, it's Cat's fault, because like Narf said, like Cat wanted to play that perimeter, like a perimeter game, that called have someone else as a 5, and honestly, like he hasn't been living up to the expectation. Like they altered the game plan for his success, and he hasn't been succeeding. And they by doing that, they made it harder for Anthony Edwards because Anthony Edwards is a good shooter. Like he's a decent shooter. Like he's not like he's known for driving in. So like you can't really blame Anthony. Yeah, them fighting like for like that alpha role is petty. Yeah, but that's both of their faults. But besides that, I think rest of the blame should only go to uh Carlton Towns.
All right, let me ask you guys a follow up
And
question.
also,
No, go ahead.
and also just like not only was that trade not a good idea because like you just ruined your second best player's game, like he has to alter his game. You also gave up a lot just to get him. Like you lost a lot of length, size, not only defensively but also offensively. So yeah, like your best bench player to Kyle Anderson. That's your best bench player. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like that's all they have on the bench.
Yeah, I think
What
a lot
did
of
it
people.
cost?
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that they didn't just give up those 5 or 6 picks, how much ever it was. They gave up like great players, Malik Beasley, Vando,
Yeah.
all these young players.
But Malik Beasley is a solid two-way player.
Right. So, anyways, the question I want to ask you guys was, so we're talking about like the alpha role, Cat and Anthony Edwards. So a couple years ago, do you guys remember the whole Jimmy Butler situation?
Yeah.
All right, how are we feeling about this? Was that Cat's problem all along, or is he just beginning to form this alpha?
I think we always knew it was Cat's problem. Like, he's a little crybaby, honestly, in my opinion. I felt bad for him the last few years because of all the stuff that went on with him, and I really rooted for the guy. But I don't know. He has like this like childish mentality on the court. He needs to like learn how to play with his teammates. Like it's okay to not be the best player on the team as long as you're getting wins. Like I think that's the ultimate goal of every franchise. And if you're getting wins, you're bringing success. Like you'll get that praise. Like you don't need to be the top player of the team. Like even like I think Kyrie had the same issue. Like he didn't want to play under LeBron, and he got like that ego came out of him, and not look at his career. And so if Cat doesn't get his shit together, I think it's not going to go anywhere, his career. So yeah.
I mean, I guess. I think we basically exhausted this talking point to death, and yeah, it's not looking too good for the North.
I got a
But-
question though.
Yep.
So the Wolves turned out this way, but how are we feeling about the Jazz? They're
Yeah.
sitting third seed right now, and they're looking amazing despite the trades.
I just want to say, man, one thing, bro. Fuck Danny Ainge, bro. This motherfucker betrayed us. I'm a Celtics fan, so a little bit of a homer here. But he betrayed us. He watched the playoffs, and he's like, oh, this guy, assistant coach of the Celtics, one of the assistant coaches of the Celtics, Will Hardy. He's a great assistant coach. Let's just steal him from the Celtics and make him our coach, and let's win tons of games. That motherfucker right there, bro. I'll never forgive him for that. And I'll let you guys talk, but just had to get that out of there. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Oh man.
Yeah, Lauri Markkanen. That's all I gotta say.
Dude.
Honestly, like I always wanted to pick him on my fantasy team, and I think I picked him up like the last few years, and he's never just like played up to his potential. So this year I was like, you know what, screw this guy. He's gonna choke again. And then this just went off. So I think big respect to Lauri Markkanen, and I think Mike Conley, like the entire team, they're just like playing as a team, and probably the Celtics assistant coach is a big part of that. So yeah, do you think their success can continue though?
If you guys don't mind if I take this one.
Please do.
Okay, so like you said, like the reason why they're succeeding and the Wolves aren't is because unlike the Wolves, like I don't want to bring up the Wolves topic again, but like when Narf was talking about like capping of Kyrie, like what the feeling I get from him is entitled. He feels like he feels like he's entitled. You know, like, oh, I earned like I'm a superstar, whatever. You know, like I earned my money. Like, you know, like this is my team. You know, like you get what I mean? Like that's why, like, and like Anthony Edwards is kind of starting to get that mentality too. While the Utah Jazz over here, like they don't have that like one like number one or even a really number two option in that team. Like there's just a
Right.
bunch of the third option guys.
The number one
And third
option,
option,
Laurie
like, even third
Markkinen.
option- yeah. Oh yeah, Lloyd Marketing is like a solid two option. I would I just I consider like one like number one options like KD standards and stuff like that. So Lloyd
I get
Marketing is like, what?
No, I get you. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah. Lloyd Marketing is like a solid two. Like besides Lloyd Marketing, they have just like threes at best, and honestly, all it is like size, speed, and shooting. Everybody on the team could shoot. They could defend because they're lengthy. They're basically like wings, a bunch of wings on that team. Besides Jordan
Right.
Clarkson, Mike Conley, and besides that, everybody is like almost wings. Like Rudy Gay, a big ass wing. Laurie Marketing, wing, and yeah, they all can shoot and they're all fast. They're all like, besides Mike Conley, none of them are really like too old. Oh, and Rudy Gay, yeah. But yeah, that's why I think. But and if it's gonna continue, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna continue. Like, I think they could be a solid like 500 team. Maybe, maybe. Like the thing is, the West is way too talented. But it's like a maybe,
Yeah.
maybe they could make the play-in tournament. Like I don't even think the Lakers can make the play-in tournament. So, but it's like,
They-
yeah. Like,
we're not even going to talk about the Lakers today.
no, we're not talking about the Lakers. No.
Yeah, dude.
Act like I didn't even bring them up.
Yeah, dude.
They deserve the respect Sacramento's been getting these last few years, which is none. Which also, I guess,
Yo,
brings up the
violation.
topic of Sacramento. Holy crap! Are they the best team in California right now? In the like LA, like they're freaking insane.
Whoa!
Steve
You just
Fox,
dropped that on us.
Sabonis, like bro, Kings are the real deal.
Hey man,
Bro.
that was a pretty bold take, man, and I respect that, bro. I don't think anybody would have the balls to make that take. But statistically wise, I mean, you're not wrong. They are technically record wise the best team in the Western Conference from California. So I'll give that one to you. You know what? I like
They beat
that.
Warriors. They beat Lakers. They actually they lost to Warriors one game, and I think they lost two games or one game, and then they won another against the Warriors. But yeah, they've been doing really good. Like, and they haven't been playing just bum teams. They've like beat the Cavs, and they've beat the Heat and stuff. So yeah, I think they're pretty solid right now, and like their players are looking nice. I think Keegan Murray, once he like gets into it, figures his role. Yeah, and as a rookie, like I think the team could definitely make some waves. Like, yeah, I think they're a real deal for sure.
De'Aaron Fox is a monster. That dude is what if Russell Westbrook in his prime, and if he had shooting, that's who De'Aaron Fox is.
You know
Like,
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about
oh.
Fox? Sorry to cut you off, but I just want to say one thing real quick. In the beginning of the season, everyone had him as, the guy who was not clutch in the fourth quarter. And that was true for maybe the first 3, 4, 5 games of the season. But ever since then, he's taken it to a whole different level in the fourth, and he's winning them games. So, yeah, man, he has been a monster as of late.
We'd
dude,
love to see it, bro.
being from Cali, like all you would hear about just like growing up is like the Warriors were pretty relevant back in the days. Lakers were pretty relevant. Well, Lakers have always been relevant. Clippers started to get relevant, like
Lob City.
with like, Lob City exactly. Like Sacramento had their run back in like around like the Kobe Shaq era when they took him to the playoffs and stuff. But like besides that, besides like the Chris Webber days, besides that, they never like had like a team, but like I honestly like I'm really rooting for them. Like I really want like I really thought De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, and Marvin Bagley were gonna be something. Like I thought like three years ago when I saw those three, like I think when like Marvin Bagley was drafted, like when he like they had a huge hype over him, I was like, yo, those three could like in the future, like they could be like a solid big three. I mean, unfortunately that hasn't happened, but yeah.
But you know what they did get from those other two, like Buddy Hield and stuff, is they got Sabonis, and Sabonis is, I don't know how he's been flying so under the radar for so long, but like Sabonis really changed his team. I think. I think he gives him that star power because he was an all star last year, and it's definitely showing. And now they're getting some recognition. You know, they got a like TNT game yesterday or something. So, yeah, definitely proud of the Kings. And you guys see the tweet by DeMarcus Cousins? He's like, you know, add me to the team if you guys want to go to the playoffs. Like,
Nice.
Bruh.
Yo, Narf,
mean,
sounds
they
like
could.
Narf, you really like Sabonis, huh?
yeah, I do, man. Yo, give him to me and
Yeah, yo,
honestly.
you want to hook me up, bro? Give me Giannis, bro. I got you.
I'll give you some Kristaps.
No, I think it'll get.
But one fail that the like I feel like recently, like past year or two, the Kings have been on like an uptrend. But the only fail they had was letting go of Tyrese Halliburton. That guy's a monster.
Halliburton.
He's a monster. I think he's a future star.
Yeah, no, I think he's really overrated, and you know I feel bad saying this. I don't think he's proven anything. So for him to get that hype, you know, but all because he talked a lot of smack that like you know Kings let him go because he was performing well last year. But you know I think it worked out for the Kings. But you know Halliburton has to prove himself. You know Pacers are doing good right now. I think Miles Turner is playing like a monster, but Halliburton is just a mediocre player. I don't think he's gonna get that stardom, but you know,
You know, that's one time that's one take I have to like strongly disagree. Halliburton is a monster. He's been averaging 25 and 10 the whole
Hey,
season. Like he's a I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's mediocre. I think he's him. Like you just said it right now. The Pacers have been doing pretty good. What are they like?
they're in 6-6, but you know,
Six, like not bad, pretty good. And says 7-6 actually after today.
yeah,
Seven
they
and
just won
six.
today. Hey,
So,
AJ Narf and Shaman.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. So if we go back in time and we kind of take away that Tyrese Halliburton trade and we send De'Aaron Fox over instead, do we think that De'Aaron Fox are putting up those numbers or even higher? He's basically already putting up those numbers that Halliburton is doing. But if he's the only person on his team, like Halliburton is basically that guy right now, then how's Fox going to do on that Pacers?
I think he'd be doing the same numbers that Halliburton is putting, but I think D Fox would probably be averaging a little bit more like 26, 27 range. I think he's a better scorer. That's all, and he's just a little bit more developed. But the difference is, Fox got that speed. I don't think Halliburton has that. But like, I think they're different players, like their skill sets. But Halliburton, I think he's just making the most of his opportunity right now. So, yeah.
Here's what I think. I think that Halliburton is a better game manager in the sense that he controls the offense a lot better than De'Aaron Fox does. However, if one player is going to be a superstar, it's going to be De'Aaron Fox out of those two guys. And I just think that Halliburton, even though he's a great player, I don't think that he has that superstar factor in him. And you can argue with me, AJ, because I know you're really high on him, but you know, he looks great with numbers, kind of like, you know, some players that we're not going to talk of because we're just getting off topic. But, you know, I think that Halliburton is a great player, but I don't think he's at that level.
Give him time. Give him time. Let's move forward to you know, a little bit of a palate cleanser. What are we feeling about our Warriors, man? They're not. I mean, at 6-8, like you know, for the defending champs, I would have expected
Warriors.
way more. Whoa, okay.
Well,
why fuck them though?
Salty Celtics fan, you know what I mean? But no. Other than that, bro, like real talk, man, they haven't won a single home away game. They've only won at home. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I can call them good anymore, or it might be, like a championship, kind of what do they call that? Like when you're like calming down from something.
Slump, like
Yeah, like a championship slump, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but I don't know, man. It's too early into the season, even though 15 games is a good chunk. But yeah, let me know what you guys think.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so sorry, go for it, Shaman.
I mean, there was a recent video by B-Ball Breakdown where he kind of broke it down, where they're trying their absolute best to basically, like, try to produce the way they always have. And I think it's a mixture of, what do you call it, trying to get the new players like up to speed while also, I think the players are just rusty. Like, they're not going to miss that many open shots the way their offense has always been generating, because I think they've basically been top 5 in offense for the past 7 years is what it feels like. So I don't think it's gonna last that they're gonna be this rusty for this long. I mean, they're not helping themselves too much by, like, kind of giving themselves like a bad record to start with. But like, I don't think this is gonna last for them. Like, they'll definitely pick it up. Whether or not they're the top seed, I doubt it. They're probably gonna be at least top 6. I mean, at the worst. So like,
Yeah, I just want to make a quick point.
yes.
I think Warriors just had a slow start, to be honest. They just got off a championship run, they were feeling it. But now they're coming back, the entire incident with Jordan Poole and Draymond happened. And I think Jordan Poole still hasn't hit his stride. Like, he's getting paid, so he should be playing like it. But I think he just needs to get himself together. Once he starts dropping 20, 30 points per game, then I think the Warriors will pick themselves up. But to be honest, Steph Curry is playing one of his best seasons, like performances, right now. And if he continues that, and the supporting cast helps him out, even just a little bit, they can definitely go back to top 6 seed. I think it's just a slow start. But I just want to make a main point is Klay Thompson. I think he's too worried about his own legacy, and I think he's harming the team. He's like, he's trying to be that old Klay Thompson, and I don't think he can be that again. And he just needs to accept it. And the sooner he accepts it, I think that the rest of the Warriors will be able to flourish and be a better team. And yeah, till that happens, I don't think the Warriors are gonna get that top 6 seed. But besides that, I think Wiggins is still amazing. Poole is amazing. They still have a lot of their core, but I think they lost Gary Payton the third, and so they still have to make some adjustments to figure themselves out. But if they can do that, I think they'll definitely be contenders again.
Eh,
Yeah.
eh.
What do you mean, yeah?
Are we there yet? I mean, here's the thing. Well, there's a lot to unpack here. The whole Draymond situation, punching a young guy. He's supposed to be the emotional leader. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We can talk about that for days. But I mean, at the end of the day, the talent is there in Curry. Klay Thompson is regressing. Draymond is regressing. Kevon Looney has been the same forever. James Wiseman just got sent back to the G League. And the young guys don't look like they can really hang in there. I feel like the Warriors were kind of trying to keep a good balance of bringing up the young players while also winning games and kind of resting their older players, their good players. But at some point, they're going to have to kind of worry about winning, because at this rate, they're going to be either a playing team or possibly not even in playoff contention. So I don't know. AJ, let me know what you think. Do you think that this is kind of a fluky and shaky start and it's whatever, or do you think that they're actually trash?
So, yeah. So I honestly think it's a fluke, like a fluke and like a fluke start. Like realistically, there's a stat that's going around. Their starting 5 has the best number on offense, and I think they're top. I think they're top 5 in defense, or they could be number 1 in defense. But I know they're at least top 5 in defense. And then, but their bench is like 25th or less in offense, or like at least 20 or less on defense, or like, yeah, they're just really bad. Their bench is really bad, and that has to do with them trying to integrate their young guys. And then like Aray and like Narf said, like I think either Aray or Narf said, one of them said, like, you have to think about winning right now. and then so like you have to choose. Like you can't like they had a good idea of like having a little like the transition from like the old dynasty to like quote unquote the new dynasty, like like transition phase. But like besides Wiggins and Poole, Kuminga's not ready. Wiseman's not ready. Moody's probably looks like the best one of all three of them, and Moody's not even ready yet. So like Moody and Kuminga are gonna be fine. I'm not too worried about them. They just need some more reps. They just need like look. This is not their year. Their year's gonna be at least next year or the year after. Wiseman, I wouldn't say I'm worried about Wiseman. Like I know Narf said he got sent to the G League, but like Jordan Poole got sent to the G League after he got drafted by the Warriors, and then look at him now. So like I don't take that as a bad thing. I just think that like he needs to be more aggressive. Like he just like sometimes when you see their games, like he'll set a pick, but like he would want like I don't know if you guys know what do you guys know what a ghost pick is?
Now explain it to it for the audience.
So ghost pick is basically like you go up to set a pick, but like you just start rolling or like fading like right away. So you basically just set a fake pick. That's that. It just reminds you of fake pick. So he does a lot of those, or like not a lot of ghost picks, but like he'll go up, and as soon as like the defender will touch his body, he'll start rolling. Like if you guys know what I mean, like he shies away from that physicality. So
He won't like set a solid pick where the defender will bump into him and feel his chest.
And that's not just on the defensive end. That's not just about like picks. That's like offensive end. Like when he does like spin moves and stuff. Like even like when you see him post up, like he like he like he's like being physical. Like trying to post up, being aggressive. But like I don't know why. Like when I see him trying to post up and be aggressive, it just doesn't look aggressive. I feel like he could put in more effort. Like I feel like he's stronger than that. That's my personally. Like I feel like once he
I definitely agree with you. But like I don't think it's James Wiseman's fault. Like I mean, like they didn't have him last year either, right? Like, and maybe the Warriors expected too much from him, coming back this season. But James Wiseman was like I remember me and Aray talked about this like 2 years ago. Like Warriors should have never drafted him. Like they should have traded that draft pick because it did have value. They could have possibly gotten LaMelo or whoever took a draft pick. But whatever, that's a whole different topic.
Wait. What draft class was he?
The same as LaMelo.
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards.
And what pick was he?
2.
Number 2.
Or, yeah. He went after Anthony Edwards.
I'm so sorry. Like, is there any like I don't remember. I just don't know the class on top of my head. But was there any like other like good like player that came out that draft was like that was kind of like a big like a 4 or a 5?
Obi Toppin.
Onyeka Okongwu was in that draft. Jalen Smith. I mean, he's probably better than or he's probably contributed more than James Wiseman. I don't know if I could say he's better. Probably the best big in that draft is Isaiah Stewart. So I mean, I guess you have a point.
Yeah, but I mean,
like the thing is,
that draft pick. To be honest,
they needed a big, like they needed an Andrew Bogut. Like Andrew Bogut was good for them, like back in the day, like people you don't think of Andrew Bogut as like
no. I disagree with that statement. No, honestly, like Kevon Looney is doing great in his role. Like they don't
exactly.
They don't need another big. No. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off. I'm not letting you finish what you're saying, but I disagree with that because right now I honestly the only reason I feel like they're struggling is first is their bench, as you said, like their starters are doing the work, but their bench isn't, and they lost Nemanja Bjelica, I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then they lost Damian Lee, they lost Gary Payton, the second, and they lost a lot of like proper role players. And I think they need to find, the role players that are in the bench or, whether it's from free agency or wherever they find their role players from. But like they need to find someone who can bring energy off the bench. And right now, that is Jordan Poole, but I think Jordan Poole needs to go into the starting lineup, and Clay needs to shuffle into the bench because Clay is, as I said, like bringing the team down. And
I agree with you with that point where it's like they should either trade either one of the three between Wiseman, Moody, or Kuminga for someone for bench right now because, like you said, yeah, their issue like I said like when I first started like when I said it like their starting lineup is up there with the top 3 teams in the league. It's not their starting lineup. It's their bench. They lost Gary Payton the second, crazy defender. Like when I was watching, like, dude, honestly, the best time of the years this year was during the finals because just like seeing like everybody on the Warriors just cook the Celtics was just like
Oh, bro.
amazing because Gary, you see Gary Payton Jr. playing like like crazy defense on like Smart, Tatum, Brown, and then you had like you saw like I'm gonna strictly just talk about the bench right now. Like just strictly finals or just playoffs. Like there's a lot of times where I felt when I'm watching the game, I was just like, oh dude, the Warriors are gonna lose this game. And then you'll see either Otto Porter Jr. hitting it. Otto Porter Jr. is an underrated 3-point shooter, an underrated bench player. Like he had a lot of shots. Like even in the finals, like there's a couple times in the fourth quarter where he had like crazy fadeaway or like crazy off balance shots that would keep them in the game, like stuff like that. Like Narf said, they need a bench. It's strictly like, and I do agree with you. Looney is a good starting 5, and but they still need another big to coming off the bench. You can't just have Looney just be
all right,
and like
then I have a question just to end it all for you because you're saying they need another big, right? And I seen this earlier, maybe like 4 or 5 games into the season. But what do you guys think about Klay Thompson and Draymond Green being traded for Anthony Davis?
Ooh.
nah, I wouldn't know. Klay Thompson is crucial to their good. Klay Thompson and Draymond is crucial.
Hey,
Like
they did big,
Uh,
right? And Clay kind of fell off. Draymond, I don't know if he's gonna sign back with Warriors next season or get that money, but yeah.
that's the thing. He's not gonna get that money, so it's up to him whether or not he wants to take I guess a pay cut or a generosity pay to stay with that team. Like he's already got them 4 championships. You know what I mean? Now
Exactly.
it's
So
just about
AD for Clay and Draymond.
hey
What do
man,
you guys
we've
think?
seen this before though. We've seen like Tony Parker go to the Hornets. We've seen these players the last year or two after staying with the team going to a different team. So I like that, Narf, man. I like that, bro. That's spicy.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if they get that big as AJ keeps saying, that'd be a game changer for sure. But I don't think Lakers want that. Yeah, they don't have any future besides AD, which sucks for them.
All right, let me ask you guys one question, and I feel like that should be good enough for this podcast, unless you guys have anything else to say. But so usually, typically, a sign of a good team is if they start to win road games a lot. This team hasn't won any road games. Can we still call them good, or again, is this just just a fluke?
I don't know. I feel like it's too small of a sample size.
Okay, fair.
They're the defending champs, is all I'm gonna say. And until they get dethroned, I'm still gonna say you got to respect them.
And I know AJ already said that it's a fluke. So I guess I'm gonna go on the record here and say I think that they're a shaky playoff team and they might be a first round exit. So we'll leave it at that.
And you're only saying that
That
because
is
they beat
spicy,
your
bro.
Celtics ass.
I don't care, bro. I
Hater,
don't like what I'm seeing from them, man.
hater.
I don't like what I'm seeing from them, man. Let me be a little bit of a homer. It's fine. There's
I
gotta be
I
Celtics
I,
fans listening to us.
I think they're at best a finals team, at
Well,
worst at best a final. I mean, yeah, best a finals team. Like, damn, Aray, man, you're just a salty Celtics fan, man. Like, I'm
Just
sorry.
everyone likes the Celtics, even though
Like,
they
the best compliment the Celtics have going for them is that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the best the best duo to be cooked by Chef Curry in the finals. So that's
Bro,
like the
okay.
best.
You know what? Let's just end this podcast. I'm gonna cut that part over. All right, no, but for real, let's end this podcast, yo. Man, I wish we could keep talking more ball, but we're gonna be back for another episode sometime this week or next week. So, guys, stay
Yes, sir.
tuned. You guys have anything else to say? Let's cut it.
I just hope AJ comes with a bit more spice next time about the Celtics being ass.
All right, we're cutting it.
Got it.
All right, guys. Be sure to check out our other podcasts. Again, we just launched a new entertainment pod hosted by Ash. We talked about the Watchers, so make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to that. It's on any podcast platform that you can find, as well as this podcast and all the other podcasts that we do. I'm going to leave a link to our website in the description, so it's easier for you guys to navigate that and find exactly what you're looking for. So with that being said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode, and peace out, guys.